Just in time for wedding season, romance scams are booming because for scammers, nothing says forever like draining your bank account before ghosting you. It's up to you to protect your heart, but our next guest is here to protect your wallet. School's First Federal Credit Union is here to reveal the red flags of romance scams so you can be ahead of the game. Here to help us out, we have Jonathan Weston, Madison Branch Manager for School's First Federal Credit Union. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hello, thank you for having me.
All right, Jonathan, this one makes me sad. I mean, the romance scams, nobody wants to fall for them, but unfortunately it does happen. It's a common thing. You know, love shouldn't cost a thing, but romance scammers have found a way to kind of extract money with the heart. So please help us understand really how these romance scams work.
Absolutely. So a romance scam typically starts with a seemingly innocent online conversation, likely through a dating app or a social media platform. Once they've been able to build a emotional connection and build some trust with you, they're going to direct you towards their online profile, and that profile is going to be a fake profile. And eventually then the conversation of money's going to come into play, or they're going to be asking for some of your personal information. What makes the romance scam particularly so dangerous is the fact that it really plays right to the heartstrings, right? We all want to be connected in some way. And when you get emotionally invested in one of these scams, it's really hard to see the red flags that are waving right there in front of you.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have fallen victim for a romance scam, you don't believe it, you don't think, no, that couldn't happen to me. But I mean, what are some clues that people can look out for?
Absolutely, there's some clues. So the first one, be very wary of any type of relationship that's moving very fast. There's the old saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Well, if someone's, announcing their undying love to you after a couple of conversations, then that's a major red flag that this is a potential scam. Relationships take time to build. And so when you go from hello to you're my soulmate in a week, be cautious, right? Another major red flag to look for is when they're very reluctant to use video chat. In today's world, video chat is as seamless as common as texting, right? They're going to have every excuse in the book of why they can't. Their camera's broken, they have a bad internet connection, or maybe they're just shy. But those excuses don't hold water.
These are so important because, again, you mentioned one of them being just love bombing, just moving way too fast, jumping into the relationship, red flag number one. And then also, as you mentioned, you just want to make sure that you're not falling victim to it. They're not trying to avoid being on camera. In today's century, it's kind of like, if you don't have a camera that works, it's just another red flag, like you pointed out. What would you say are some of the sneaky ways people might ask for money when they're trying to do some of these romance scams?
So keep in mind that scammers are master storytellers, and they know exactly what strings to pull on. Most commonly, they're going to use professions that make it sense why they can't meet you in person, such as like military personnel, an oil rig personnel, or international businessman, right? All professions that would make sense. Oh, that's why they can't see me. Then they're going to have some type of emergency, right? A common one is a medical emergency. They want to come see you. They don't have the money to do so, so you got to send them money so they can come see you. Or they're trying to send you a package, but it's stuck in customs and they need money to get that through. Any of these things are definitely red flags. And to make this sound more convincing, they'll even try to send you some fake documents that support whatever the story is that they're telling you.
Okay, so you really have to be on high alert when you're in these situations. What else can we do to protect ourselves?
Well, never, ever send money to somebody that you haven't met in person. That includes gift cards. They like to request gift cards because they're hard to track and trace. You want to make sure that you keep your family involved in the loop of what is going on, right? That's your support system. You might be too close and emotionally invested in this relationship for them to notice, for you to notice, but they might notice. When it comes to the profile picture, you can use technology, leverage that to your advantage, do a reverse Google image search. You might be surprised to see how many profiles that picture is attached to. And when it comes to if you met them on an online dating platform, stay on that platform for your communication. They have security measures in place. As soon as you translate that communication over a private email, you lose that protection.
That's a good point, because sometimes when you're on the dating apps, you're like, okay, yeah, here's my cell phone number. maybe wait a little bit longer until you know for sure this person is legit. Like you said, have maybe a video call with them just to make sure they are who they're saying they are. If someone has already sent their money to a scammer, unfortunately, what's the first move to maybe salvage their dignity and their cash? Can you touch on that and any other last info to share?
If you've been a victim of a romance scam, don't feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Remember, you are dealing with professional scammers. This can happen to anybody. But you do want to report the transaction to the bank. Get them involved. Love shouldn't cost you anything, right? So you need to make sure that you are staying diligent, doing your due diligence to make sure that you're not being scammed so that you can protect both your heart and your wallet.
Yeah, all very good and important tips to make sure that people aren't being scammed. And like you mentioned, they shouldn't feel ashamed of it. I mean, there's a reason why we're having this conversation.
Absolutely.
People have fallen victim to it. It's common. We want to help people not fall victim to it anymore. Always a pleasure having you on, Jonathan.
Thank you.
All right, to our viewers, protect yourself and your wallet and maybe even your heart. You can visit one of the many Schools First Federal Credit Union branch locations as seen on the screen. And as always, you can find out more online by going to schoolsfirstfcu.org.